Hey guys, hello my beautiful play family. How are you? Hope you guys are having an amazing day. This is definitely an impromptu live. I debated having a live this week, mainly because this is a very busy time for us, as I'm sure it's very busy for you guys. But as I was driving today, I saw on my block that the road was closed and I had to take a different route. And so it made me think in life how we can be really used to doing a certain thing and going a certain route, and the road is closed, and so you have to find a different route to get to the destination. And right now my destination is the post office. It's a dear friend of mine's birthday coming up, and I really wanted to drop off her gift early, like way earlier, and didn't get to it because I just didn't have the time. So now I'm dropping it off today, and thought, hey, why not jump on here and share this message with you guys. So why is this message so important to me, you may wonder? Well, last night I was reading in the book of Zechariah. I want to say it was chapter 7. And in this book, you are able to be privy to this message in which God is saying that he wants obedience over fasting. So this was really important to me because people put a lot of emphasis in life about fasting and tradition. And when I read it, I was like, wow. It was like really eye-opening. I try my best, guys, to read my word in the morning and before I go to bed. And of course, like if I need to read it during any time of the day, I try my best to read it as well, which may be a fun fact that you know about me or don't know about me. So in this particular message, and in that body of scripture, he was saying, you know, your ancestors have been fasting this whole time, and it hasn't yielded any kind of action that you're wanting to take place in your life. And it really did strike me because I was like, gosh, how much of what I do in my life is done out of routine, or because I think that I should, or because society has dictated it this way, or, you know, my family traditional values have said this is the way it needs to be done. And so it just made me think like, hey, I need to be more obedient to the call of God. I need to be more obedient to what his desires are, and not what religion is telling me this is how you respond to God. This is what you do. So yeah, I'm definitely feeling and knowing that I'm in a different place spiritually in my life. And like I said, going down our street today and seeing that the road was closed because they're doing some work in our area made me go, that's a message. That's a message that the old way of doing things isn't working, and you need to find a new route. And maybe that's a message to someone else as well, that doing things the way that we think that we should, and we think that we're following what God has for us to do, isn't what God wants right now. That he wants us to be obedient to his will and his word that he declares right now. I'm trying to think of what it's called. I can't even think of like the Hebrew word for it, but just as far as like when he's giving you a message for this time, for this hour, for this era, for this time. And I think, you know, in fact, I know that we have so many different pressures going on in life, you know, just daily pressures and family dynamic pressures and friendship pressures and work pressures, employment and employer pressures, bill pressures. And then we talk about this election. Let's not go deep into it because I know we all have different views, and I respect everyone on their views, but I'm gonna tell you, I'm on the side of humanity. I'm on the side of making sure that animals are alive and healthy and well, and that even goes for human mammals as well, especially. So that's where my stance is at, in case anyone ever goes, what is our case stance on things? that's where I'm at with it. So it's not even about pink, blue, red, green, or anything like that. It's about making sure that for humanity's sake, that we have a good quality life. Point blank. And I really do believe that we can't keep doing things the way that we have. If anything, we can't go back. You know, like that's been a strong message for me in 2024. It's not going back to the ways in which I have done things, not going back into the ways that my ancestors have done things, and understanding that, you know, there is no, what is it, DeLorean car, like Back to the Future. You can't really go back in time. We may want to go back in time and redo things, but there's just some things that we just have to be able to resolve within ourselves and say, you know what, it happened, it's done, I can't go back to it. But definitely, let's not repeat it. Let's not repeat things in life just because we've always done it that way, or just because our parents have always done it that way, or our grandparents, or aunts and uncles, or whoever else has always done it that way. Great-great-grandparents have done it that way. The road is closed. Find a new way. Find a new route. So that's where I'm at with a lot of things right now. It's just being able to find a new route. And I gather that this conversation, this chat that I'm having with you right now, it's just me saying that I'm about to do things different. I can't really say exactly how I'm going to do things different. I have one more live chat coming up on the 16th of November. You want to check that out? You got to check that out. 3 p.m. on a Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's a Saturday, November the 16th. I'm so excited about it. And I'm always excited about being able to chat with any of you beautiful souls. I really, really am. I always learn so much about your own perspectives of play and how you do things, like the behind the scenes. And I guess, you know, with me having a psychology counseling background, that's what makes it even more interesting to me, is kind of like find out how people think. I love it. I love it because we all think different. Every individual thinks and does things different. And it's fabulous. It's the most intriguing thing ever. So I love having those chats, and I'm hoping to continue to do that. But right now, where I'm at with things is I want to just do things the way that God has me to do it. It's been on my heart for quite some time. I'm tired of doing things the way I think it should be done, or the way that someone else is doing it. I want to do things the way that I know it should be done, because God's telling me to do it that way. So yeah, this is basically that introduction of saying things are going to look a little different on Sacred Pair Play Land. And it's still going to be about play. It's still going to be about having fun and enjoying yourself. But it is definitely going to be something that is going to give God the glory, because He deserves it. I'm not waking myself up in the morning. I'm not breathing air right now just by my own, ability. This is something that God is doing for me and doing for my family. And I feel like I haven't always been giving Him the glory that He deserves. You know, I may complain a lot, regret a lot, try to figure out things on my own a lot, people please. You know, I'm a recovering people pleaser. So I believe that that's like a daily struggle in so many ways. It's a daily struggle, you know, to not do things that you used to do, how you used to do it. And so this is that introduction. This is me saying that the road is closed, and I'm going to be doing things different this latter part of 2024, and definitely throughout 2025 and so forth. Looking into building a blog, and this blog is going to be definitely Jesus focused, and it is going to be based off of the book The Likeable Villain, which, check that out, is on Amazon. That's a tutorial for those of us who have been wondering how to build a likable villain character in your writing. So that handbook is essential in your writing, and I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say about it. And I will be having a giveaway coming up really, really soon. So I'm still in prayer about how to have that giveaway come about. But yeah, I'm at a point right now, y'all, where I'm just like, I'm done doing this on my own. I haven't been doing this on my own, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm just done doing things on my own mentally. Does that make sense? I want to make sure that I'm giving my divine creator glory. I want to make sure that I am not doing things in my flesh. You know, it comes a point in time where I think for all of us, you come to that spiritual fork in the road, right? And you're going probably multiple times, right? And this is not just like a one-time thing. This is like a multiple time thing where you're like, I'm at another fork in the road, and I need help. So that's really where I'm at with it, y'all. I'm just like, I need help. I need his help. I don't want to keep on trying to make things happen out of my own flesh. I have a lot of books written. You know, you can check out Amazon. You can check out my page even. My top post, like one of the top posts on there, shows all the different books that I've written. And it's been amazing. I love it. It's been a journey. Despite all that, I oftentimes question, like, am I doing this to give God the glory? Yeah, I've written a lot of different things, and yeah, I have a couple devotionals, and I've also been co-writer with PWN. I was able to collaborate with the devotional that they have and another book that they have, Raising African American Boys and Girls, or Raising African American Boys, I believe. Enjoyed it immensely. But even with all that, I'm like, I really believe I'm in the position of Paul. And Paul was like, and I'm talking about Paul in the Bible. He was once Saul. And then he had the Damascus experience. He's on the road to Damascus, and he gets struck down, and he hears the voice of Jesus, and Jesus was like, why do you persecute me? And long story short, he ended up going blind for about 3 days. And then Ananias came and prayed over him, although Ananias didn't want to go to him because he was afraid, because here goes a man who's been killing off Jews. And yet the voice of the Lord told him to go to him and pray for him, and then he prayed for him, the scales from his eyes fell. But during those 3 days, Paul, who was like this very, very strong leader, had to be like ushered around. He had to go place to place by being ushered or escorted by the other soldiers that were in his camp. So I'm saying all that because Paul felt like he was doing the right thing. And in many ways, he would be a likable villain, right? Because he felt like he was doing the right thing for the right reasons. And then when he had the Damascus experience, he came to know, like, everything that he did was all rubbish. He was like, I count it all rubbish to be able to know God. And that's where I'm at with things, you know. I've spent a lot of time, I hope you guys can hear me because I am talking a little bit low, but I've spent a lot of time trying to do things the way people want it, and literally have lived my life like checking off boxes. You feel me? Like, I remember I chose to go to a Catholic all-girls school because my mother and another woman that I looked up to as a mentor were like, this is going to look good on your resume. You need to do this so you can get into college. You need to do this for this reason, this reason. So it was like, you know what? I want to make them happy. And they said, I have a lot of potential. I'm going to go ahead and do this. And then I remember being in school, and it was like, check mark, check mark, check mark. It was like, you have to have this number of hours of volunteer hours. Well, I went above and beyond my volunteer hours where I got the St. Angela Award. You have to make sure that you have good grades. Well, I went above and beyond, and I was on the dean's list, and I got the who's who by the time I was in college. I got that one twice. And so, like, everything I did, I always try to go above and beyond. But, like, for me, it was like, just tell me what I need to do. I need to get involved with sports. Okay, well, I'm not extremely athletic, but let me do some cheerleading. Let me do dance team. I need to get involved with some type of club and organizations and group. Okay, let me get involved with Young Democrats. Let me get involved with the Ophelia mentorship. Let me create my own group called African American Voices, because we only had 9 of us in the whole school that were African American in the whole high school. So let me get involved with that. Let me create that. Let me go ahead and become part of the yearbook team. Let me become part of the recycling team. Like, I got involved with everything so I could check mark, and then get into college. And I did the same thing in college, and it was check mark. And then I went into grad school, check mark. And then I wondered, like, why isn't it working? Like, I see it working for other people, but why isn't it working for me? I've gone to grad school 3 times, y'all. I remember at one point, before I met my husband, I was like, told my mom, I was just like, I'm so ready to live life. I was like, I don't want to keep being in school. I don't want to keep being this like professional student and just being like, in so many ways, like a puppet, just doing what I'm supposed to do. And here I am at 42, and I feel like I'm kind of in that same position. And I've gone through that at different cycles, like, and maybe I never even got out of the cycle, and maybe I never did. And I have moments where I'm out of that, right? And then I fall right back in. Like, even when I was like this heavy church goer, and my husband and I, we met, we got married, and then we were at his brother's church that he was the pastor of. And I remember I literally like became someone else to please the masses. And it was not true to me at all. And I got to a point where I literally lost the identity of who I was. And it was so confusing, because it was like, is this who I'm supposed to be when I serve the Lord? But yet I had lost out on the essential parts of who I am and who I was created to be. And I will say most definitely that adult play therapy has helped me to get in touch with me. It has helped me to have some type of rejuvenation in my soul and in my spirit, and connect to that inner child, and connect to the purpose of who I am. So I'm extremely grateful for adult play therapy doing that for me. And that's why I believe and I know that the calling of adult play therapy has to go forth. And I'm seeing more and more people in our creative community talk about adult play therapy and talk about doll therapy and talk about play therapy and talk about art therapy and what it means to them as adults. And it's freaking fantastic. I would say something else. I have told you guys before that I cuss and I drink bourbon, okay? So don't hold it against me. I am honest about my stuff. But I was almost going to say a different word. But it's been freaking fantastic to see so many of us, like, just grasp and hold on to the fact of being that we need play in our life, So I will definitely say that adult play therapy has helped me to connect with the inner part of myself that I had lost touch with. And I've done a lot of healing, and there's been so many beautiful creative souls on this platform that has been involved with my healing process. So many people, like I have been just blessed in that. I really, really have. I praise the Lord, have not had anybody come at me in a rough way. I haven't gotten DMs that were negative. In fact, I've gotten people that have felt my vibe, felt my energy when I'm low, even though I don't say it. You felt my energy when I'm low and send me a funny DM or sending me, prayers, or just, it's been lovely. It has been so beautiful, the souls I have been able to connect with. And I guarantee you, we knew each other in other lives. Just for you to be able to connect and feel my vibe without me saying it, because I am a very private, personal person. I'm very private. I really don't put my info out like that. And that's just how I am. We're all designed a little different. I believe that when it's time for me to release information about myself, to disclose who I am, I do. But I'm just not that kind of person to just be like running the mouth about myself. So whenever someone sends me something and they're like, I just felt that you needed this laugh. Oh my gosh, it's so on time. It is so on time. That's why I'm like, we knew each other before. For you to do that and know, it's beautiful. So I appreciate it. And you definitely have been a part of my healing process. You have been an intricate part of that. So I appreciate you for that. And I know in my heart that I've been healed enough, not finished, always a work in process, a work in progress, right? WIP. But I've been healed enough. I'm gonna have to start moving because I am at the post office. I don't want anybody going, what is she doing in that car? But I've been healed enough to be like, it's time for this next level. It's time to do things different and to answer the highest calling of God. So guys, like I said, things are going to be somewhat different. It's not going to be like, so far off that we're not able to connect with each other, but I want to do things different. I want to make sure that God is pleased with me and what I do. And I don't want to keep trying to please other people. Like I said, recovering people pleaser here. I don't want to try to please people. So if I say no to something, don't take it personal, but just know that this is that season, and where I have to stand my ground on my belief system and who I am. If I have something that I post, a reel that I post, photos that I post, if my story starts to go into a direction that you're not feeling, that's okay. You can unfollow or just go ahead and, just scroll right past it. If it resonates with you and it speaks to your heart, then definitely follow my page, comment, join in on, if I have any, events or anything. I don't know if I am going to have any doll events this year other than the fashion show right now. But if I have any, doll events or whatever, support it, join it. If I have any more books that I do, any devotionals or journals that I do, speaks to your heart, support it, buy it. Buy it from me, I'll sign it. But this isn't about money, because I don't even know the direction I'm going to take when it comes to writing right now. I don't. And as weird as it sounds, I'm actually kind of happy about it, because I want to make sure that God is the one controlling it, that he's at the steering wheel, because he's been in control the whole time. But now I'm like finally at a point where I'm like, I let go. I'm not gonna keep holding the steering wheel and trying to guide it, while he's already guiding it. I've been doing that. So yeah, I'm done check marking stuff off and trying to do things perfect, because I'm an imperfect person. I'm perfected through him daily. I'm done trying to, do things in a way where it's so freaking neutral, because quite honestly, nothing in this world is neutral. We're all biased, And so, hi, Dolly's Diner Shop. I'm just over here gabbing at the mouth about where I'm at right now in life. I realize more and more that just like that road that I was driving up today to get here to the post office to drop off my dear friend and sister's birthday gift, I realized the road is closed. It's time to find a new route. So once again, this is just me speaking my mind and my thoughts and an introduction to you guys on things are going to be a lot different here in Sacred Paraplay Land. Still going to be about play, still going to be about fun. But I want to make sure that I'm doing things in a way that gives God glory and that allows me to be able to feel like myself. I'm not saying I haven't been myself, but I want to make sure that I am doing things in a way where I'm not compromising, that I'm not trying to do things according to the masses. And maybe in many ways I haven't been doing it the way that the masses have. But I want to make sure that when I step away from any chat, or I step away from any post that I just put up on my feed, that I feel in my heart, in my spirit, in my soul, that I feel that God is glorified, that I feel that he's pleased with me, that I feel that what I'm doing fulfills my purpose. Because there's nothing like feeling like you're not hitting the mark on your purpose, that you feel like you don't have a purpose. I have wandered around here for, how old am I? So long, questioning my purpose, and am I doing what I'm supposed to do? It doesn't have an effect, a positive effect on people, and why am I here? What am I doing? You know, I've had that question for a long time, and I don't know about other people. Maybe you have too. And I think right now, in fact, I know I'm just kind of tired of having that question. Like, am I meant to just be a mom who's writing books, and sometimes the books are doing well and sometimes they're not, and sometimes this is happening, and everything's a freaking roller coaster, and there's so much of a roller coaster going on in our society right now. Like I said earlier, we're right here at the cusp of an election. Nobody knows what's going to happen next, you know? And you definitely do get tired of having that up and down and roller coaster going on. Most definitely. And I feel like, in fact, I know in my heart that I'm just at a time where I don't want to keep on having this roller coaster going on with me emotionally and mentally, and wondering, am I doing the right thing? So that's where things are at. That's really where things are at. I'm not going to keep on asking myself, am I doing the right thing? I'm not going to keep on going, well, maybe I should have a get ready with me for my dolls because everybody else is doing it. I want to make sure that what I'm doing is being done because this is the way that God wants me to do it. Make sense? I want to do it the way God has for me to do it. I want to make sure that I still have storylines that are raw and realistic. So don't think that I'm going the fluff route, you know. I have nothing against fluff. Everybody knows that. I love fluffy stories. Love me some fluffy stories. Those are the ones that give you a real good, strong pick-me-up, right? And it's just fun. I love all stories. I love all stories. Hi, Mom. Yes, I noticed you just called me. I'm about to call you as soon as I get done off of here. I'm about to give you a call. But yeah, so fluffy stories are important. I want to still make sure that I have that going on with my stories as well. But I want to make sure I have raw storylines, those realistic storylines. I want to make sure that it's giving God glory on what I'm doing, and that I'm not just over here making content for the sake of pleasing people and making content because I want to hit some certain number so I can possibly get partnership and this and this and that. I don't want to do it off of that. I want to make sure that what I'm doing is resonating with people spiritually, that is resonating with people on a soul level, that are storylines that speak to your heart, that are real and realistic, that connect you closer with God. I want that. That's my chief desire out of what I'm doing. I don't want to do this just because it's a thing to do. It's something that can make me into a brand ambassador or an influencer, or to have a video go viral. I think that's like been the thing since the pandemic, or maybe even before. Having a video go viral. You're not anyone unless you have a video go viral. Well, it's not about that for me. It's genuinely about being able to do what God calls for me to do it the way that he has me to do it. So it's going to be a new era with Sacred Pair Playland. And I feel satisfied in saying that. And like I said, if you're with it and it resonates with you, then continue on this journey with me. I fully welcome it. And invite your friends to be included in on this journey. But this is going to be something new for all of us. And I'm excited about it. I really, really am. So, all right, guys. Love you all. Hope you guys have an amazing Monday. And enjoy your week. If any of you guys are going trick-or-treating, be safe out there. Adults go trick-or-treating. If you're going over someone's house to have a Halloween party, whatever the case may be safe out there. Times are different now. So make sure that you are handling yourself with safety. If you drop your cup down, don't pick it back up, right? So that's one of my main advices. You go to an adult party and you drop down that cup, don't pick the thing up. Make sure you check your kids' candy if they do go trick-or-treating, because there's all different kinds of people. Back in our day, they were putting, razors and stuff in the apples and all that other crazy stuff, opening up candy and doing crazy stuff. Well, I don't think they've gotten any better. Make sure that you check that candy if your kids go trick-or-treating. Go with your kids trick-or-treating. Too many times parents just let their kids wander down these streets and go trick-or-treating by themselves or in a group. It's not the same anymore, guys. I'm not bashing anyone who does it. I'm just saying, let's be more aware. My mother always went with me trick-or-treating. I think maybe 2 times I went with a childhood friend. Her name was Christy. We went with her parents, though. So it wasn't like we were just wandering up and down. Got a little older, and I remember a friend of mine, I think I was like 17 or 18, and her little sisters were going trick-or-treating, so we went with them. But quite honestly, 17, 18-year-olds ain't got their heads together. We didn't have our heads together like that to be able to protect those kids if anything crazy would have happened. You, as an adult, go with your kids. Don't have no 17, 18-year-olds be the chaperone, because their heads are not together. They're still candy-oriented, and they really don't know what to do in case of an emergency, quite honestly. So just speaking from experience, I was that 17, 18-year-old whose head was not fully on straight like she thought that she had it together. I don't care how mature the 18-year-old is. If your kid gets swapped into a house, am I, as an 18-year-old, going to risk it all to go get that kid out of the house? Be an adult. Be a good parent. Make sure you go trick-or-treating with your kids, all right? I know some people just go ahead and they drive and go from house to house, let the kid go out of the car and go to the house. Walk with your kid, y'all. Just walk with your kid. Fitness is not a problem at all. As you guys know, we have a gym. If you need a little bit of help walking up those steps and walking from block to block, come hit us up, all right? Come hit us up. If you're having problems walking, knee is hurting, you're out of breath, come hit us up. We have virtual and online courses, so even if you can't do it in person, guys, you can come and see us through the webcam, all right? We can make this happen virtually and online. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later. You guys enjoy your day. Love you. Bye-bye.